ISFJ, we got the question. The difference between the ISFJ and INFJ. Yeah. Well, there's a lot to this. Let's unpack it. I am honored to be a character in The Chosen, if you've seen that TV show. I play the character of Petronius in season 2, episode 4, the assassination episode. It's really cool. Really cool show. I highly suggest you go check it out. But I bring that up because Jesus is stereotypically seen as an INFJ. Even Jonathan himself, who I got the pleasure of meeting, got to meet Dallas and some really cool people. It was an awesome opportunity. Needless to say, INFJs, if you look at the Bible itself, a lot of religious perspectives as to why Jesus behaved in certain ways. I'm not talking about Christianity or religion per se in this at all. If you're looking at the way in which Jesus was told in story form, he does come across INFJ-like. And that is because he did things obviously for other people, but it was always like a mystery to it, like why did you heal this person but not this person? There's a meaning behind something. There's a lot of intuition without the spiritual side of this. Just talking about Jesus, the character, not who Jesus is and anything. So I'm respecting. There's barriers. I'm respecting it. Anyway, the point is, INFJs have this depth for you. They have this thing for you, and they struggle with vision for themselves stereotypically. If an INFJ is kind of doing these things that are a little bit confusing and perhaps even inconsistent at times. INFJs can jump and bounce around, but it all kind of makes sense in the end because there's a big vision for what an INFJ is doing. And they're always looking at the better side of what you can be. This is why, you've probably seen a lot of the other videos we've been saying, people commenting like this, where an INFJ is protecting somebody that they see vision for, and people around them are like, hey, this person's bad for you, they have a bad record, they're definitely going to step on you. And INFJs just don't care. They want to look at the good in what that person, that they believe deep down that this person is good, the one that they're defending, one that they're believing in, I should say. The ISFJs are the defenders, so we're going to get to that difference here in a second. But INFJs see the vision for somebody else. They have that view. And that is why we can say that Jesus is, Jesus. I don't want to get spiritual, okay? But you know what I'm getting at. And so it's not to say that INFJs aren't reliable, because that's a whole different thing to unpack. It's rather to say that INFJs are dependable for what they see for you. And whatever happens, they come out on top because they saw that you were going to do the right thing, or they saw it, okay? There's that vision. Now, ISFJs are NI demon. Now, this is a whole other thing. But an ISFJ they can handle crazy chaos, okay? INFJs cannot really do that. INFJs are like there's a bunch of things happening, their vision's being shaken, and they don't know what to do, or they do know what to do, and they wait for that right moment to do the thing that they're doing. You see that in The Chosen, how Jonathan, portrays Jesus. I don't want to keep bringing that up, but anyway, the point is that ISFJs take on chaos. INFJs get overwhelmed by it. And when that happens to an ISFJ, they'll shut down. ISFJs will shut down. They'll go mute and quiet, and they'll hide for a bit, and then they'll come out. The question that I got behind the scenes, because somebody asked, of course it was behind the scenes, right? Because they didn't want to feel stupid, right? They're TI child. Both don't like to feel stupid. More than probably other types, because that's the tantrum factor. If I don't know, I don't know. And then they kind of get like, oh, I don't know. Other types take it on as I'm smart. I know these things because I already studied about it, like TI users dominantly. Just real quick, stereotypically, an INFJ gets overwhelmed with chaos, needs to step away. An ISFJ, if the world around them that they're defending, the group in which they're defending, specifically ISFJs help individuals rather than a group like an ESFJ, but like an ISFJ. And if they don't do it, if they don't actually step up to the plate, ISFJs are SI dominant. INFJs are SI demon, which means they memorize all these horrible things, and INFJs don't let go very easily of the past. ISFJs are very forgiving. INFJs are not very forgiving, especially if you cross that line. Once they give you the INFJ door slam, you're gone. ISFJs are not like that. They're the defender. They will look for the good, right? But, they'll defend, and INFJs will defend the vision for you, the future for you. They'll defend what you can become. ISFJs will defend in the moment and look at the perspective because they're NE, inferior aspirational. So they'll see the other perspectives like how an ENTP will, and they'll defend the vibe, ISFJs. An ISFJ over here whispering to my ear as well. So I'm getting firsthand experience for you right now. I don't know you're there.
I'm here.
There you go. I'm an EP type, right? I need the proof right now. But the point is, what happens with the ISFJ, I think is fascinating. And there's an anime about this right now, which I thought was hilarious. And the character is ISFJ. I will solo any boss in order to clock out on time. Something like that. Basically, it means this secretary, I only saw the first episode, but I was like, this is screaming ISFJ. And the guild or all these, the heroes come in and hunters come in to try to beat these bosses. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is that she took over because other people couldn't. She took over because other people couldn't. So ISFJs are the knights. They'll step in and be like, yo, you can't do this, or they'll see somebody weak because they don't like to have any of their people fail. So ISFJs will jump in and fight the boss for you. And that's literally the name of the anime. It's freaking great, okay? Anyway, I thought it was really, it was cool. But an INFJ is not gonna step in. No. No, they're not. Just like how, Jesus is portrayed. Jesus will try to teach you something. And it's not like how the INTJ is going to be like, oh, let me take this opportunity to teach you this. Because the INFJ is also one letter away from the INTJ. But if it's more like, I'm going to do this for you because I feel that you're struggling, let me step in. That's ISFJ. INFJ is like, I saw the vision of what that's going to happen. I kind of feel what's going on, but I'm reserved and I'm going to be like, I'm going to see what you're going to do. That's INFJ. INTJ is like, get back on track. Here's what's practical. Here's the lesson here. So there's a very clear stereotypical flush. I hope that answers the question. Stereotypically, ISFJs are the defenders for that reason. They'll defend. And now you can see how. INFJs are just visionary. They're predominantly visionary based people. ISFJs really don't have much of a vision, but these two are very organized. And the things that they do are for other people. They're FE parent and TI child. So they're always seeking for information. So if you test it as INFJ, but you're kind of unsure about it, you're probably actually ISFJ, especially if you follow in that stereotype of taking over projects secretly and quietly, and you don't want credit for things, but you're the one who's going to take over. You hardly get acknowledged for that. ISFJs are notorious for not being acknowledged. They're actually the most common personality type. I heard somewhere that it was 50% of the population's ISFJ. So take that with a grain of salt. Take all this with a grain of salt. Thank you for listening to me in my rant. But these two are actually very different. Oh, and then one other person asked with this question, emotional intelligence. And I'm going to have the ISFJ, if you could, please tell the really quick difference like you did earlier for EQ between ISFJ versus INFJ. They heard that there was discrepancy.
Okay, the INFJ is more outbound with their emotional intelligence. They're gonna know how you're feeling. ISFJ is gonna be more inward bound with their emotional intelligence. They know better how they're feeling and can project that outwards.
Okay, I hope you heard her. She doesn't want to be on camera, so I'm respecting that. Introverts, right? ISFJs feel very insecure if they have not experienced something before, so they can help. Therefore, they're going to seek knowledge or seek somebody else's expertise very quickly. Being SI dominant, they will seek for authority to help. And INFJs, always feel free to correct me if I'm wrong in all this. So yeah, and an INFJ is, they're way more contemplative. INFJs will take that time to really feel and think and premeditate. Either has more or less emotional intelligence to answer a certain person's question behind the scenes. And if you have more questions, hopefully I can answer them. This is my perspective and this ISFJ's perspective. I'm ESFP. Eric Osmond, thanks so much for joining us here. And go watch The Chosen. It's a great show.